Hello again and welcome back to our course on Word 2019. In this module we're going to start to explore how you can create your first blank document. Now when you first open up Word 2019, as I've done here, you'll be presented with this home screen. And what you'll see in the main body of the screen is a list of recent documents. So these are recent documents that I've been working on and they're all listed under here. So I can just double click on any of these and it will open that particular document. So it's a really good way of just being able to quickly open things that you've been working on recently. So that's just a little bit of information for you on how to access recent documents. But what we want to concentrate on in this module is how to create a blank document. And if you cast your eyes to just above that recent list, you'll see the first thing that we have there is in fact a blank document. So it's fairly straightforward. You can probably guess what you have to do here. Just simply click on blank document to create a new one. But before we get on to doing that, I just want to show you some other options that you have in this area when it comes to creating new documents. Now, if you don't want a blank document, you might decide to create a new document based on a specific template. And Word has a number of different templates that you can utilize in order to do that. Now, if you've never used a template before and you're not really sure what they are, it's just really a good starting point. So for example, if you know that you need to create a resume or maybe some meeting notes, you can search for a specific template related to a resume or meeting notes, and it will already have a lot of the information or the layout that you want for that particular document. So I have a few up here. You can see we have blue-grey resume, welcome to Word, single space, so on and so forth. And I also have a more templates link, which I'm going to click on. And now I can go through and I can really get a good look at some of the templates that are available for me to use. And there is a whole host of them in here, and they definitely are worth checking out if you've never been into this section before. Now, if you are looking for something very specific, you can search for it up here. So again, if we use the example of resume, I can just type it in, click on the magnifying glass. It will search the templates and it will pull back a list of all of those resume templates. And if I find one that I like, I can just click on it and then I can start working on it. So very, very simple. Now, I don't want to use a template at this stage. We are going to get into that a bit later on. I just want to create a new blank document. So very simple. Now, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to click on this little arrow. So the one that says all, I'm going to click it. So we go back and I'm going to select blank document. So now we've created a blank document and you can see in the title bar, it just says document 1 because we haven't saved it yet. Now, there's a few things I just want to highlight to you with regards to typing in your first document. You'll see I have the cursor flashing and you can see it doesn't flash right at the edge of the page on the left-hand side. There is a little bit of a margin left in there, about an inch or so. And you can see that that's where, when I start typing, that's where all my text is going to start coming out. So I'm just going to type a very basic line first of all. So let's say this is my first document. Now, if I was to carry on typing, when I get to the end of a row, I don't need to hit the enter key in order to go on to the next line. It will just automatically wrap as I start typing. So you can just continue typing your text and it will wrap itself around. So don't feel the need to hit enter at the end of a line. If, however, you do want to force a line break, so if I was here and I wanted to do something on a different line, I could hit the enter key and that will take me down to the next line and I can carry on typing again. Like so. One other thing to notice is that if you're at the start of a line and you start to type a sentence and you don't capitalize the first letter, Word will automatically capitalize it for you. So if I just start to type in the same thing as above, so let's say this is how, you see there it capitalized it for me without me needing to go back. That's due to Word's AutoCorrect feature. It recognizes certain things and it will change it for you, making your life a lot easier. We are going to explore a lot of the AutoCorrect options in the following modules. Now, some other things for you to be aware of. Let me just go in and I'm just going to delete out that text that I've just written. I'm going to go up to the line above and I'm actually going to spell the word breaks wrong. So I'm going to add an E in there and click away. Now what you'll see is I get that red squiggly underline, and that tells me that I have a spelling error in that word. So what I can then do is hover over the word, and if I right click my mouse, it's going to give me a whole host of options. And more often than not, the word that you're looking for is normally in this list. If it isn't, then you will have to go in and just make the change manually. But I can see here that mine it's the top one, so I can just select it and make that change. Now also, I'm going to jump back into this sentence and I'm going to add a comma and a space. And I'm going to click at the end. And you can see now that Word's also picked up that there's something wrong there. There's a grammatical error, and this kind of error is very common, particularly when you're typing quite fast. You might accidentally put a comma in, hit the space bar twice. But I can see now with that double underline, if I right click, it's telling me how I should fix that. So it's saying how and comma would be better there. Now, when it comes to spelling words wrong, I'm just going to put that spelling error back in there again. And if you right click, you can choose to add the word to a dictionary as well. So there will be some instances where you'll type a word, maybe it's the name of someone or the name of a place. Sometimes Word doesn't recognize things like that, and it will tell you that it's spelt wrong when actually it isn't, it's just not recognized by Word. So if you do have that, you can select Add to Dictionary, and it will then add that word into the word dictionary so that the next time you type it, it doesn't register as any kind of spelling error. So just be aware of that as well. And all of these options are available in that right-click menu. Now, just a couple of other things I want to highlight before we move on to the next module. If I wanted to do another blank document, I would just go up to File, I would go to New, and I would select Blank Document. And what you'll notice now, if you look up in the title bar, is that it now says Document 2. So it hasn't closed down my original document, it's just underneath the one that I'm currently working on. Now, if I do want to switch between the two, or in this case, switch back to the first document, there are a couple of ways that I can do that. I can either hover my mouse down in the status bar at the bottom over my Word icon. So I have my Word icon pinned to my toolbar there, and it will allow me to see both of my documents, and I can then choose which one I want to move to. So I can switch back to document 1. I could also go up to my View ribbon, and I could say switch windows, and it will list there all of your open documents. So again, I could choose to switch back to document 2. So really nice and easy to be able to switch between any or all of the documents that you have open. And of course, if you want to close your document, then you can do that very easily as well. Now, I will warn you, if you look right up in the top right-hand corner, you have this big cross icon where it says close, and that will close all of Word. So just be aware of that. I tend to like to just go to File and down to Close if I'm just looking to close one file. So hopefully that sort of explains how to create a new document and how to first start typing, and some of the little things that you might see as you start typing into your first document. We're going to move on now to the next module, where we're going to be talking about working with non-printing characters and line spacing. So please join me for that.